Welcome to Listen and Learn English, where you can improve your English at your own pace. Our narrators are all native English speakers, and their words are displayed so that you can read along and practice your English vocabulary. It's a great way to learn, so sit back, relax, and let's get into the video. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Chapter 3. How Dorothy Saved the Scarecrow. When Dorothy was left alone, she began to feel hungry. She went to the cupboard, took out some bread and carefully spread butter over it. A few crumbs were set aside for Toto, who wagged his tail impatiently. Then she carried a small pail to the nearby brook, filling it with water so clear it sparkled in the sunlight. Toto bounded ahead to the trees and began barking excitedly at the birds perched there. Dorothy called him back and noticed the branches above were laden with luscious fruit. She picked several, delighted that they would complement her simple breakfast. After enjoying her meal and letting Toto drink deeply from the brook, Dorothy returned to the house and began to prepare for the journey to the Emerald City. She had only one other dress, but it was clean and neatly hung on a peg beside her bed. It was a gingham frock, patterned in white and blue checks. Though the blue had faded from repeated washes, the dress still looked charming. Dorothy washed herself carefully, changed into the fresh dress, and tied her pink sunbonnet over her hair. She then packed a little basket with more bread from the cupboard, covering it with a white cloth. Looking down at her feet, she saw how worn and shabby her shoes had become. "These certainly won't last on a long journey, Toto," she said. Toto looked up at her, his small black eyes bright, and wagged his tail as if he understood every word. Then Dorothy noticed the silver shoes lying on the table, the shoes that had once belonged to the Wicked Witch of the East. "I wonder if they'll fit me," she said thoughtfully. "They could be perfect for a long walk, for they could never wear out." Carefully she slipped off her old shoes and tried on the silver ones. They fit her perfectly, as though made for her alone. With a basket in hand and Toto trotting close behind, Dorothy locked the door, slipped the key into her pocket, and stepped out to begin her journey. Several roads stretched in different directions, but it didn't take long for her to find the path paved with yellow bricks. Soon the sun gleamed on the golden stones, the silver shoes tinkling merrily with each step. Birds sang sweetly, and Dorothy felt surprisingly cheerful, despite having been swept from her familiar home into a completely strange land. The countryside around her was enchanting. Neat fences, painted a delicate blue, bordered fields heavy with grain and vegetables. It was clear that the Munchkins were skilled farmers, able to produce abundant crops. Occasionally, Dorothy passed a house where people stepped outside to bow as she walked by, their faces bright with gratitude. They all knew she had destroyed the Wicked Witch, freeing them from her cruel rule. Each house was round with domed roofs, painted blue, as blue was the favourite colour in the Eastern land. By evening Dorothy grew weary from walking and wondered where she might rest for the night. Soon she came to a larger house than any she'd seen before. On the green lawn men and women danced joyfully. The people greeted Dorothy warmly, inviting her to join them for supper and to spend the night. This was the home of one of the richest Munchkins, whose name was Bock, and he welcomed his friends to celebrate their newfound freedom. Dorothy enjoyed a hearty meal while Toto, curious as always, inspected every corner of the house. Bock noticed her silver shoes and exclaimed, "You must be a great sorceress." "Why?" Dorothy asked, puzzled. "Because you wear silver shoes and have killed the Wicked Witch. Also, your dress has white in it. Only witches and sorceresses wear white." "My dress is blue and white checked," Dorothy explained gently, smoothing the wrinkles. "It is kind of you to wear that," said Bock. "Blue is the Munchkin colour, and white is for witches, so we know you are a friendly witch." Dorothy didn't know what to say. Everyone seemed to regard her as magical, though she was simply an ordinary girl carried by a cyclone into this extraordinary place. After the dancing ended, Bock showed Dorothy to a comfortable room with blue sheets and a cozy bed. She slept soundly until morning, Toto curled up on a matching rug. After a hearty breakfast, Dorothy watched a tiny Munchkin baby play with Toto, tugging at his tail and laughing. Toto's antics fascinated the Munchkins, for they had never seen a dog before. "How far is it to the Emerald City?" she asked. "I do not know," Bob replied thoughtfully. "I've never been there. It is wise for people to avoid Oz unless necessary. The journey is long, and while the land here is rich and pleasant, you must travel through rough and dangerous areas before you reach the city." Though this concerned her, Dorothy was determined only the great Oz could help her return to Kansas. She bade farewell to her hosts and resumed her walk along the yellow brick road. After a few miles, she climbed to the top of a fence beside a vast cornfield to rest. There, perched on a pole, was a scarecrow, raised to keep birds from the ripe corn. Dorothy studied the figure, a small sack for a head with painted eyes, nose and mouth, a faded blue suit stuffed with straw, a pointed hat atop its head, and old boots on its feet. To her astonishment, one of the scarecrow's eyes slowly winked at her. When she looked again, it nodded in a friendly manner. She climbed down and approached, Toto barking cautiously. "Good day," said the scarecrow in a husky voice. "Did you speak?" Dorothy asked in surprise. "Certainly," he replied. "How do you do?" "I'm well, thank you," she said politely. "I'm not feeling well," the scarecrow explained. "It's tedious being perched up here all day to scare birds." "Can't you get down?" Dorothy asked. "No, the pole is stuck in my back. If you remove it, I shall be grateful." Dorothy lifted him gently. Being stuffed with straw, he was light. "Thank you," said the scarecrow. "I feel like a new man." "Who are you?" he asked. "Where are you going?" "My name is Dorothy," she replied. "I'm traveling to the Emerald City to ask the Great Oz to send me home to Kansas." "Can I come with you?" he asked. "Maybe Oz will give me some brains." "If you like, you may," Dorothy said. "If you cannot, you won't be worse off than now." "True," said the scarecrow. "I do not mind my body being stuffed. It cannot be harmed. But I want brains so I can know things." "I understand," Dorothy said kindly. "I will ask Oz to help you." "Thank you," he answered gratefully. They walked back to the road. Dorothy helped him over the fence, and they started along the path of yellow brick for the Emerald City. Toto did not like this addition to the party at first. He smelled around the stuffed man as if he suspected there might be a nest of rats in the straw, and he often growled in an unfriendly way at the scarecrow. "Don't mind Toto," said Dorothy to her new friend. "He never bites." "Oh, I'm not afraid," replied the scarecrow. "He can't hurt the straw. Do let me carry that basket for you." "I shall not mind it, for I can't get tired. I'll tell you a secret," he continued as he walked along. "There is only one thing in the world I am afraid of." "What is that?" asked Dorothy. "The Munchkin farmer who made you?" "No," answered the scarecrow. "It's a lighted match." We hope you enjoyed this video. Please support us by giving us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We release new videos just like this one each week, so join us and listen to learn English.